I guess I'm lust, but I give a fuck. Either way, they tell me that I'm less, so I don't give a fuck. I'm the nasty type, but I don't run around giving out fucks. I know my reputation, but I also know you feel me. I can't wait in this revolution. I don't play with girls, they try to steal me. I see their immaturity or their elusive intent. They keep asking me who the fuck, but who is there to who I can vent? What's it worth? The money, with no time you can look back and say that you spent. People don't get how I can leave money on the table, but I don't live in a world that's full of movies and fables, where a conspiracy isn't a false narrative, but a real desire to turn the tables. Like Adele, the real her, I wish her well. Can I toss a penny to you? How you help me with your voodoo? One is better than two if it's between who calls me boo and who calls me boo-boo. In my hood we had this saying, going saying crazy like Raduku. The speed that's past the sound is how we move around, and the lack of layups we can shoot through. I love the diamond-studded earrings on a woman, and they aren't like the golden hoops who have always been right by me. I'm leveled out to line the leverage of the situation to get it for us in the long run. Average intentions from false prophets and mindless mentions won't make it to where this dog's done. I don't promote addiction, but for freedom I petition. Finding a way to cope without reactions that are fake shit's my affliction. Writing stories with the fuck timeline, but experiences for real, not just fiction. While they focus on the physical, I focus on connection. Kinetic intellect, our voice, I'm for protection. Low-key, I smoke dro weed. You don't smoke, but it's your weed. Next to you, I'm flexing. I don't question what is destined. If I'm in the east, it's a feast. We can beat death when we bring the west in. I get it, they want to use your body, but my soul, I want you caressed in. If I could ask you one thing, it'd be what you plan to make your next move then. Cause I'm a steady rock, is how I'm sectioned. I wonder if you love yourself like I love you when I look in your reflection. Shit, I'm hoping we make it. Shit, I'm hoping we will. Flipping through this poetry with this fluency skill. I slipping young and homie, do you know it's me? Don't let them talk over the weed because I don't like their misdirection. Creative misconceptions are like a mace in the eyes of all the wise, helping me steer this in the right direction. The ones who know this whole thing is more deep than for their attention. Did I mention why we feel the tension, or why it's hard for my emotion to start dispensing? Opposed through disopposed avenues to dispose. Memories come in dozens froze in the open, missing closed. Doubts dribbling down in droves. Decided difference, dedicated to you and your interests. Your investments only up in interest. Let us take a break and enter rest. You're always more, see what's at stake and never less. Will forever last like the living ever rest. The euphoria you create got me feeling forever blessed. Washed in what has happened, baby, we mingling with demons like the way of deacons. I pray you aren't the they who are afraid of heathens. The least is where the strays are weakened. Has God forsaken those who seek the weekends? Is the law the truth, or do we focus on forgiving? And if there's a righteous way that's like us, isn't that the way that we've been living? These are usually just some questions that I would share with the mirror at the makeup of the man that's on the other side who might see clearer. Clearly defined and definitely in the mind for the definite me in time, or for the infinitely intimate within the syndicate to vividly provide the imagery for those who get with it and vibe. This shit is deep as fuck. The more I paint our kingdom, the more they call me and they tell me that theirs is deep as fuck. Is this all because I sneak and puck like I don't have that much power and I couldn't help to meet this up? All this work I put in just to plant the seeds. They couldn't drink or fill their stomach with the fruits we leave or the juice in me. I even made myself the sacrifice for them to have their move in me. Face drooping because of all the years that we've been stooping for this movement. In the time they threw my ass in hell, I felt I didn't fail, but I was dreaming lucid. Then I got it when I wrote with Tell her this was just to see me stupid. I love you and I care for you. I'll back you against them fake bitches and I dare for you. And they don't appreciate you like I appreciate you. You aren't cheap to me, but I see you're just a Jew to them. And their perspective is I'm mad at you because I see how you decide to hew for them. You wanted us and they ask you if you'll move for them. Your love is what is through to 10. That's right, I brewed them in. The same hell that they threw us in had us moving in the need for Sudafed. Throughout my entire journey, I never question who's the den. I'm the ghost inside my writing cause I move the pen. Tighten all the way that screw won't end up loose again. I'm producing products to populate past the hate until I find a mother to my children and tell her that I'm moving in. For me, it's not an R&B, it's a rhythm and a blues. You know this, like this flow that we are getting into. Shit I bled for, had tears shed for. Shit we breaking bread for. Like the reasons I won't question why I'm ahead for. The reasons I don't wanna see a lot of shining bullets found out full of lead for. A world of peace I'm trying to enter. A world has always been here. You wanna ask me what I defend for, or why I haven't given up because of the loss of certain mentors. Can we have a moment of silence? And now that we're back, pour a little out for the ones we've lost out in the violence. And thank the creator for his guidance. And that in the hood we had alliance, because we aren't the only ones who know what it's like to live with tyrants. We're all our lullabies are sirens. Previously with the family bonded out in islands. When you forget you feel regret. Isolate until you feel you're on an island. We all win here, what's wrong with the world that I'm in? You got a problem with losing problems, living stress-free while reclining? Or is it because of survivor's remorse? Are you afraid of eating this 5-meal course at this newest establishment with the finest dining? I know I'm in my deepest conscious while I am mining in my thoughts for writing while talking with my loved ones here and gone while I am shining. I'm a vamp but always help you find the silver lining. More shit to say, so more bars to spray. Vibing heavy, no need for the hard today. Up for 3 days, not because I was on any drugs, but because the shit I've seen gets hard to say. I found it years ago, my desire is to start the way. You aren't hard to love, they inform me that you're hard to play. That is what I enjoy the most. I just try to keep it 1,000 with you and help this other shit to cope. I'm not breaking the pattern of sin like a priest or like a pope, but I'm still healing everything in this bond forever without a wedding ring. That's how I'm setting things to bring in hope. People closing others' eyes, telling the crowd that they've been woped. I see through the illusion. strip me of everything material and I stay the same inside this human. It's either change or fucks the institution. Against every odd and even when death was around and looming. How can I exist the way I exist for this, but confirm to you that you're the one? Then explain it to you like I know I'm bonded with the deepest relations with some women. And if I'm honest, I know it's more than one. Most women will get jealous and say this is more than done. I'm looking for you to accept me as I am and accept us, for there is more to come. And that this thing that I'm living in is more than fun. I see a bunch of gods all connected to a source that's one. Like keeping shit open but having me closer to you. If it's a best of three for the champion T, you know together we'd have it over in two. If you're the red and I'm the blue, then when we're together we're the woo. Now we represent the two parts of the same faction, destined to fix the brokenness in the social interaction. My main theme of my movie, not a social distraction. False headlines for businesses to attempt to meet deadlines. When will the industry be done with acting? According to the achievement road that's been paved in perpetuity for the people who have believed in those impossible ideas, possibly progressing the populace even with the unknown. The anti comes in the name of Christ, but this is still sun-sown. When you finally realize behind this happiness for you isn't designed in only one road. Isn't that why you practice with revealed? Couldn't you see this kingdom coming and together us living in this world that's healed? If not, then I guess the saint of the serpent's fate is sealed. And I never get to you, I don't even have in mind a day, but I'm sure it's straight to see the earth entilled. I wanna be freed without their need of their rebirth and will. Accumulated blessings for an open door, not in search of money but to find who is my closest core. They throw it at me so often it doesn't even feel like it's a toast no more. I hope you hear my sincerity in my vocal cords and believe that beyond the prophetic fallacy, understanding intellectually this is more than just a fantasy or a hope galore. I pass you the ball, so why would I hate if I hoped you scored? And if I'm not the greatest that my society's seen, truthful intent is my latest. It's not a phase, metaphysical spaceships aren't a notoriety scheme. I look at the knowledge in my head that me pushing the question instead of looking towards the future. I wake up in a past life where everything is upset with me and telling me to act right, and then I'm dead and gone and people calling asking, wait, you're coming back, right? But when I was around, no appreciation for my experience unless I did for them and their experience. In front of them I'm just an experiment, chewing on everything I've been like I'm just some spearmint. Pack of gum, I chose to stitch my lips and start acting dumb until my emotions was suffocated out of me. No more fake smiles, I'm actually numb. Where I couldn't find the honestness, woken out of my deepest sleep from what will creep from cuts that seep throughout the entirety of my consciousness. Memories resurface, trained to think I'm dumb and worthless. But do we know how old the earth is, or is that an educated guess? And I guess that education really wasn't an education at its best. But this diamond wasn't formed without the weight that has been pressed. It's been hella years since I've had human connection. Well, one more than removing my foreskin as I install in her human connection. Was committed for years, but after removing her fears I lost all my human connection. It's almost like I gave it to her, but I don't like to talk about it, so she hasn't heard me say it to her. Cause I don't like to place the blame on anything, especially a feminine. Even if she's acting masculine, I knew the deepest layers behind the walls that she was masking in. Drunk as fuck one time she told me some shit about her I know she never said again, and I haven't repeated it. She doesn't even remember the conversation, but because of one sentence I was able to be there for her without her knowing until she defeated it. Then when I was no longer useful to her service, my jaw dropped to think this all stopped when I knew we conquered what her hurt is. You know what I know for sure is, should I do it again and stand to their idea of our mediocrity just to prove it again? But I'd ask, if I hit the basket at the buzzer, what gave him the idea that I'm losing again? She couldn't even see that it was my destruction, that was the world, the ones that were supposed to be my own were brewing us in. I was mature as fuck, but I still couldn't see through the immature in me, cause I was often too focused on her immaturity. The one-on-one, I'll tell you, I watched her come from self-hate into her purity. She was 15 with the baby aborted. She didn't want to raise that child in a world where it had to watch all the things she had snorted. On the low, homies telling me she's a hoe. My response to me was that was the only way to go. They're destroying all our women and leaving them on the seafloor. Not moving from my ego, but to try to help them see more. Cause I never understood why they'd help but hate on me. For 1,000,000,000,000 was the odds that they had given. If I'm moving against the obstacles while I'm focused, how am I the one who's hating? How the fuck is their God not a God to me but Satan? Wait, they have a limitless creator, but I'm forced to their one route. I'm thinking thoughts like gems that haven't been seen with such a rarity. She told me I create dumb doubt, that's why I'm the devil. But on the other side of that question I'm asking is the answer or the clarity. Don't ask me why I'd kill for you, it's really just a dare in me. I hate they taught you that you weren't perfect. A complete and total self is what I see, it's not my worship.